If you watched our video last week on the 2017 Volkswagen Beetle, you'll know that we've started filming cars in front of our test drive garage. However, we're in front of the other garage today. Why is that? Because we're featuring our own car. Our spotlight is on our 2017 Mazda CX-5 GT with the tech package. We're going to be showing you everything about this car, going in depth, taking it for a drive, and going over what you need to know if you're in the market for one of the most popular compact SUVs on the market today. This is the second generation Mazda CX-5, replacing the first, which made its debut in 2013, so this is not an old nameplate for the Japanese company. The second generation hit the market earlier this year with huge demand, creating a backorder here in Canada for the GT models. We were lucky enough to find one locally without having to wait the average 3 months to get the keys. Styling is evolutionary, with changes to the front and rear being the most noticeable. Up front, the sharp edges of Mazda's new design language can be seen, with the LED halo lights on both ends of the car. The GT trim adds LED front headlights and fog lights, though the license plate lights are still halogen, along with the interior dome lighting. The GT trim also adds a lot of upgrades from the base GX model, such as the power rear liftgate, advanced blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, smart city brake support, 19-inch alloy rims, and the more powerful 2.5-liter engine with standard all-wheel drive. The tech package enhances the safety features with radar cruise control with stop and go, smart brake support, distance recognition support, forward obstruction warning, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, high beam control, and traffic sign recognition. You'll notice that the front Mazda emblem acts as the front sensor for some of those technologies. Another feature of this CX-5 is the smart key. Like most cars, you can use one of the 3 access buttons to open the car without pushing the buttons on the key. The front doors and the trunk each have this button to lock or unlock the car, plus you can set the car to automatically lock itself if you walk away from it. Moving on to the inside of the car, we find the premium black leather seats and dashboard trim. Along the driver's door are the window controls. The only automatic one is the driver, and the rest need to have the engine running in order to work. Power mirror controls are located above that. To the left of the steering wheel are the safety system buttons, including the lift gate, traction control, and lane keep assist. It is curious why Mazda left 4 blank buttons for a car that is fully loaded. Below is the gas release switch and the hood latch release. The GT trim adds the heads-up display, which we can't capture on video unfortunately, along with the color multi-information display located on the right of the gauge cluster with information such as proximity distance, fuel mileage, trip computer, and service interval. The GT trim also adds 6-way power and heated seats for front passengers with 2 memory options for the driver, a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, Bose premium audio with 10 speakers, and heated rear seats along with widescreen navigation and Sirius XM radio. The multifunction steering wheel has audio controls, cluster computer information selector, and radar cruise control along the right side. Above the center console we find the rear view mirror with 3 home link buttons and the auto dimming indicator, sensor, and power buttons. Above that we find the map light and dome switches, along with the power moonroof controls. The navigation and media screen isn't bad and follows a consistent trend in the automotive industry to stick a tablet-like monitor to the top of the dashboard. Controlling the infotainment system is straightforward, with the buttons and rotary controls located below the gear lever. The navigation system is clear and functional, though we've noticed it takes us through side streets rather than the most efficient route possible when navigating in towns. The Bose audio system sounds quite good with XM radio or through the Bluetooth setup. Settings for safety features like blind spot monitoring and the heads-up display are found in the infotainment system. Below the screen are 2 air vents and the hazard switch, the keyless start-stop button without automatic start-stop, the front heated seats and heated steering wheel continue down, and finally the dual-zone automatic digital climate control with a 12-volt power outlet in the storage area. The gear lever is wrapped with leather with sport mode and manual shift selection. At the bottom we find the parking brake, auto hold, and the media controls with favorites, media, navigation, back, and the volume dial. 2 cup holders are found between the center console and the armrest, along with 2 USB outlets, auxiliary input, a 12-volt plug, and the navigation SD card reader under the armrest. The first thing that we noticed getting into the back seats was how wide the rear doors open. It's great for children in car seats, and wide opening allows for more room to get in and out of the back of the car. The seats are quite comfortable, and legroom is consistent with other vehicles we've reviewed in this category. Along each door is the control for their window and a small storage pocket. One nice surprise we found in the back were the rear heated seats. The controls are located in the armrest, along with dual cup holders and 2 USB outlets under the armrest. This is truly amazing, something we haven't seen before in a car at this price point. This is great if you have kids who want to play with their tablets during a long car ride, or even better if you decide to use this car for Uber or Lyft, so rear passengers can charge their devices during their ride. How about you be our passenger, and let's hop in and take this car for a drive. So I'll be the first to admit that I was never a big fan of Mazda. In fact, I'd place them in the top 3 of vehicles that I would never consider buying, right next to Cadillac and Volkswagen. However, I think that my opinion has certainly changed, especially with their recent iterations of vehicles that they've come out with. About 2 years ago, we had the opportunity to drive the new CX-3 when it was first released. Now, it is a small car, and really isn't great for families altogether, but we weren't doing test drive at that time, so we never did a video about it. And fast forward to now, we've decided that this is the car to replace our daily driver. And when we think about the cars that we've reviewed before, such as the 2017 Hyundai Tucson, as well as the 2016 Ford Edge, those are all compact SUVs that fall into this category, and really, they are direct competitors along with the Honda CR-V and the Toyota RAV4. When we think back to the Tucson, spacing is pretty similar, and even the styling too, it's got similar proportions to it. But overall, I have to say that this car certainly has a lot more going for it than a lot of the other competition. Personally, I was very surprised when we took delivery of the car to find that things like the doors have stitched type of leather. The seats are real leather. If you get the non-GT version, they are sort of a leather composite, but these are real leather seats, and the dashboard and relatively everything else is soft to the touch. The armrest on the left side of the driver is pretty nice. And the armrest here in between the two passengers I find is a little useless. There's no adjustment for it. You can't pull it forward like you can on a lot of other cars, so it's a little too far back for my taste. Now, unlike the Hyundai Tucson just behind us here in the parking lot, I really think that the styling is very good on this car. It really looks sharp. The lines are really sharp, which is something that you really don't see a lot in this segment now because everything is so bubbly and round. But I like the aggressive front end of it, and even the back looks good too. Those Corona type ring headlights and taillights are quite a nice touch. And it certainly is a big upgrade from the 2016 model, the first generation CX-5. Performance as well. When we posted that we bought the car last week, I had a lot of people ask me what they felt or what we felt about sort of performance and whether the car felt like it was underpowered. And it's certainly something that we've talked about with things like the Hyundai Tucson. However, I haven't had that feeling here. We've only driven 359 kilometers. The car's brand new, so we also haven't been ripping it. But we've gotten onto the highways without any issue. I don't even have to worry about putting my foot to the drop dead position. It really just will get you up to speed in a smooth manner, and I haven't felt like it's underpowered for what it is. So certainly from an engine perspective, it is pretty good. It does sound a little bit, you can hear it quite a bit more, and comparable to the other cars in this segment that we've reviewed. The seat comfort is, again, something that we like to talk about no matter what car we're driving. And overall, it is quite comfortable. We haven't done really a lot of long distance driving with it yet, but from tooling around town and whatnot, the seats are quite nice. They are perforated, even though they don't have air conditioning. They are perforated to kind of give you a little bit more breathability. And I do find, compared to a lot of the other leather seats that we drive in, that I don't feel as warm on my back and on my bottom. There's a little bit more airflow there to help you. So especially during the summer months when it is really hot and those seats can get sticky, it's not as bad. So let's go. Quick rip here. Yeah, see, it goes. You're not going to be racing this car. This car is truly a very popular option here in Quebec. It's only been out for a few months, really. And I think we've seen, on average, about 5 a day. Which, it's not like I'm counting all the other compact SUVs that we see in the market. But truthfully, when we look for cars on the road, I'm not seeing the RAV4. It's ugly as shit. You can really see that. Same with the CR-V. God-awful design. I barf every time I see it. And I've been barfing too much because I don't see a whole lot of them. I do see a lot of these. I see a lot of them in the red color that they offer. Some of them in the white and a lot of gray ones as well. but I do see a lot of CX-5s out here in Quebec, and really that's going to show that they are a popular car here in Canada, despite what you might think about the Mazda brand. We've decided to go ahead and buy one, and so far we've been pretty happy with it, but a lot of people have as well. And it's not just because it's an inexpensive car compared to the competition. You actually do get a lot of stuff. Like we said, you've got leather seats, and the dashboard is nicely trimmed here with the tech package, which is very inexpensive. $1,500 gets you the tech package with things like blind spot monitoring, heads-up display, the nice navigation system here, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's very cheap when you think about it. The car all in is about 40 grand, fully loaded, absolute every feature that you can get. We even got a tow hook on the back to be able to put a bicycle, because some of you continue to think that I need to lose weight, so I bought a bicycle. So now I can go ride my bicycle and put it on the back of this thing. So there's a lot going for this car at a very competitive price. And I'd say when we think about all the other cars on the market, such as the RAV4, CR-V, which are direct competitors, if you go into the South Korean type market, you've got the Hyundai Tucson and the Kia Sportage. If you go into the North American market, it's very full. You've got things like the Dodge Journey, Ford Edge, the GMC Terrain, Chevy Equinox, Jeep Compass. Chrysler doesn't make a car, so it doesn't matter about that. You can really even call like the Fiat 500X one of these cars as well. And then if you really want to get fancy and start talking about the luxury compact SUVs, you've got things like the Audi Q3, the BMW X3, and technically the X1 is in this segment as well, but it's much smaller. The Mercedes GLC, the Porsche Macan. These are all cars that are really in the same segment, even though I think a lot of the people who are going to be thinking about buying something like a Porsche Macan won't be considering a Mazda CX-5, but there is a lot of option when it comes to this market. And overall, this is a surprisingly good car with a lot of options that I really didn't think would be here. Heated windshield, for instance, is something that I really don't see on any cars. I think Subaru is one of the only Japanese companies that is making that type of windshield, and it's something that is certainly nice here in the colder climates that we have in Canada. All in, the CX-5 GT with tech package is $36,730. A similarly equipped Honda CR-V Touring adds Apple CarPlay and a rear sunroof, along with remote start for $38,290. But you also have to look at it, and that will make you sad. Head on over to Toyota, and their RAV4 Limited will cost you $40,489, which also comes with Apple CarPlay and a bird's eye view monitor, but the exterior would make my grandmother cry. If you're in the market for the CX-5, then definitely go for the GT trim. The base model GX is quite basic, and even the GS trim ends up being similar in price once you start adding some options to it. So far, I've been very impressed with this Mazda and has made me reconsider my original views about this brand. The new CX-5 is truly a fantastic SUV, and it's one that I'm happy to have added to our garage. Thanks for watching this episode of Test Drive Spotlight on the 2017 Mazda CX-5 GT. As always, your support helps make this show possible, so please give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. We're looking for vehicles to feature, so if you're in Quebec or love road trips, get in contact with us to see if we can make something happen. Until next time, take care.